Yeah.
Spread one love, okay? Thanks for tuning in to us, the MNM Show.
MNM
MNM
Show.
Throw some hearts on that bitch.
Shit.
Welcome back to another live episode of the M&M Show. Thank you for tuning in. It's a glorious spring day here in the District of Columbia. And we are at the One Love Massive headquarters in Shaw. I am Nikki, your host with mostest, and I'm here with the boss, the creator, the founder of One Love Massive. What's up, Molly?
What up, though?
Hey.
I'm just over here inviting people to our Facebook feed.
M-Dog in the building.
Exactly.
What did you just say?
Nobody's ever called you M-Dog?
No.
Really?
No.
As fierce as you are?
I mean, I'm rolling. Let's do it.
No!
Well, then I might be jogging like Pink Dog.
But she changed her name. She's not Pink Dog
I know.
anymore.
That's true. I could be M Dog.
Well, in addition to M-Dog, we have the one and only the J Mills, aka Naughty Nina Ross. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Doing pretty good. I'm trying to tame the tangents. Didn't even make it through the intro without tossing in a tangent, but it's okay.
Don't tame the tangents.
Don't. Okay. All right. Well,
Not tonight.
no.
Never tame the tangents.
I don't know. You're here. I'm so happy, man. Welcome back,
I
Nikki.
know.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Before we get to me, though, I want to introduce our viewers to the one, the only, the crazy, sexy, cool, the very, very awesome Indigo Green. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
We're super excited to have you here. You're part of a big movement going on in the district with the cannabis culture, as well as
I am.
Yes, as well as Ms. Mill. So, I know that we're all weed lovers here in the house at One Love Massive.
What
so
up?
we got a lot to talk about today. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
But, I like to start off the show just with, really catching up and seeing how everyone is doing. Let's start with you, J Mills. Why did you say that you want to tame the tangents? What's going on outside that makes you think that's what you're trying to do right now? What's going on? How's your week?
It's been really amazing, man. Shout outs to being a CEO and running companies and things. It can be so stressful. Sometimes you wish you could quit. Well, not quit, but I've had jobs where I just made up reasons why I couldn't work, and I wish I could do that with my company.
Every job I've ever had.
Exactly, every job. Oh my god, my stomach. It's just I can't. But I can't out of life when it's me.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling Gemini type stuff. Sometimes we avoid things. Sometimes we just keep it really light. So I'm extra light. I had a lot of sativas, sipped some wine, got this beautiful Jack Daniels that's been blessed by the Queen Indigo.
Stop it.
I know that I
throwing
need to
this Jameson
tame
away.
myself in advance. In advance. I'm old enough to know when I should put myself on a leash. Is
Well,
what I'm
that
saying.
sucks.
Oh, that's what he said.
I never censor J Mills. That should be a button or something.
Being on a leash is not always bad.
Well, is the Mercury still in retrograde? Is that thing still happening, or is that over?
I believe it's over, but it feels like it's on its way back.
Yeah. Don't say that.
It
Life
feels
is
like
good
it.
right now.
Life is good right now. I
Don't
don't,
wish
need
it.
it.
Hush your
But yeah,
mouth.
shout outs to girl bosses, ladies in charge, and bossing up and pushing through and grinding and shining.
Holla.
That's what. Did you mention that? I wrote a whole rap freestyle in my head, over and over this past weekend about how women are bosses and how it's called "We Running This Shit." And maybe I'll write it down or maybe I'll perform it in the
Factory
future.
floor session.
Can I
You
get on the
know,
remix?
Maybe I'll get on the lab. Actually, shout out to the lab.
Okay.
And perform my freestyle, but it's pretty dope, actually.
I have no doubt.
But when I'm inspired, I'm known to bust a rhyme. But I want to turn it over to you, Molly. How has your week been? You were saying it's been kind of a stressful week. What's been going on?
No, not stressful. It's been a week of self-discovery.
Self-discovery. I like that.
You mean oops, or you mean
No, not that kind of self-discovery, J Mills.
You
But
perv.
I said nobody's gonna
lady
acknowledge
perv.
the
wisdom nugget. I'm just kidding. That's not appropriate. No, so I'll just put it all the way out there. I decided I'm not going to censor myself on this show anymore. I'm not sure if you guys realize I was censoring myself, but hang on. Yeah, it could get interesting. But no, I was in a really difficult, tumultuous love affair relationship many years ago that ended very, 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 very poorly, and it left a really big stamp on my my soul and how I kind of moved through the world. And
Is the aliens coming
they're
down?
coming for me. Gotta go.
said you
Ride's
weren't
here.
censoring yourself. They're coming for you.
My ride is here. I gotta go. I don't know what it is. It could be our phones. It could potentially be our phones. Sometimes when they're too close to the base of the thing, it causes a little feedback. But so anyway, yeah, I reached out to that person looking for some closure. And it went really well, and I feel a lot better.
Amen.
That's good news.
Yeah, that never really happens that way. It ended really it ended in a restraining order. Bad. Like that was just like a punchline that I used to use like as a joke, and then it turned into my life. And it was a really difficult time. I've talked about it before. That's why I'm an advocate for women, because nobody believed me. It was really difficult. I mean, and obviously, like in any true love story, there's a lot of different sides and perspectives, and it's nothing is all bad, nothing is all good, But it permeated like the way that I moved forward in the world in a lot of different ways, and I didn't realize how much it was still impacting me from moving forward until recently, when I engaged in a dating arena and realized that like I really needed to let go of a lot of shit, and I reached out, and he was receptive, and it was the best possible way that story could have ended, and so I feel really fucking good. You know what I mean? I feel really good. Like I was scared, you know what I mean? And I faced him, and I did that shit, and it was good, and it was cool, and it reminded me of like why I fell in love with him, and why we loved each other, and like why ultimately I will always love him, But also like why it's okay for me to like let go of all of those things and like move forward. And
that's
that's really exciting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's really great.
So, do you have a new boo now, or how's
I
that
do.
work?
I do.
Okay.
Like
that always helps.
Yeah, a couple of things going on. I'm actually in this like huge self-discovery mode. I'm trying to redefine what it means to be in a relationship and like love without attachment and all of those things. And I don't want to get into too much. Yeah, I don't want to get into too many details about my personal life, but shit is pretty popping right now,
I feel like that's another show topic.
I know.
Oh, that's happening again tonight.
Yeah. MNM After Dark. Yeah, that too. Okay. But yeah, so no, it's good. It's good, and I feel like in order for me getting off of social media January 1 is the best fucking thing I've ever done for myself. I'm never going back. I love you guys on Facebook.
I still see you.
No, because I have to post for the business, but I'm not scrolling. I'm not checking notifications, and I'm not scrolling.
Yeah.
Because and even then I'm really not staying on it. Like I literally just installed the app to go on here to share this feed, and I'm gonna uninstall it the second. But it's cleared up all this time for me to like be alone with my thoughts and think about shit, and like. Shit's really fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, just this week alone. You know what I mean? I have more clarity, more time alone with my thoughts. I'm able to like really focus on what I want to do.
That's awesome.
And I think, to be the person that I know that my purpose is meant to be, to like make at least my world a slightly better place while I'm in it. I can't be affected by all of that noise, and I can't carry that shit around anymore. And so, like, I feel really ready for 2018. In an extremely tumultuous world that, like, is, like, low-key killing me. Like, I feel more prepared to tackle that,
Folks, there was a definite wisdom nugget in there, about letting go of things. Rebirth.
Dude.
Getting off of social media.
Dude.
To give your brain some room.
Dude. And I know you guys are watching this on social media,
but. It's all about balance.
Win some, lose some, Just tune in every Tuesday at 8 or 9. I don't even know what time it is, but.
It's all about that balance.
It depends on where you are on the planet, 8 o'clock
100%.
Central, 9 Eastern.
100%.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. In Cali, it's 6 o'clock.
Pacific.
Yeah. Yes.
I wonder if anybody in Cali is watching us, like, say hi on our little...
What's up, Callie?
What's up, Callie? But what's up, DC? Because that's who it mostly watches. Is DC.
That's true.
We also got some Baltimore folks who check us out, as well as a couple folks from Philly. I've been checking out our stats on the show, So we got a nice regional feel, and that feels good because we're all about the district. But the district, what happens here, impacts the whole United States.
Hell yeah.
It really does, especially in terms terms of culture and policy, like DC is on it might not feel like it to us because we live here, we're in the thick of it, but what actually happens here oftentimes sets the tone for other cities and localities across the country and how they're going to move forward. DC is definitely a thought leader when it comes to like social justice issues and moving things on the ground and whatnot. And definitely now is the time where shit is going down in this country.
Dude,
so
the time is now.
Super real, man. Super real.
So shout out to all of those in the thick of it in the district. But I want to turn it over to Miss Indigo Green. How has your week been? What's been going on with you?
Well, not much. Well, first of all, the new year so far, let me not speak too soon, but it has been great to say the least.
Whole year
I'm
been
also
great.
I'm also on this whole rebirth journey right now. So like I can definitely resonate with what you were saying earlier. And this whole self-discovery and just kind of, just living free, living your best life. That's like my motto for 2018. Like, and it's come to a point where I've evolved into the person that, I knew I could be. So I'm like attack mode at this point.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm about
Attack mode.
Yes.
You're on a new level.
Exactly. Yeah, I leveled up basically.
Yes. What's the level up noise?
We need a magic mushroom level up graphic. Can we work on that for next week?
Exactly.
Yes.
Leveling up. Well, it's really awesome to have you here on the show. We're definitely going to get into the weed culture of DC and your role in that.
I love it.
Yes.
But I do want to go over what we have here on the table
Passing the J.
real quick. So, many of you may know, but there's a real nasty flu going around all around this country. And so I was one of those downtrodden souls, because I really was looking downtrodden this past week, that caught that shit. I think it's the N2H3 or something like that.
They're naming that shit now?
Yeah, it's
Jesus
the
Christ,
H2N3.
It's the new thing.
That's not suspect at all.
I know. Last time it was that swine flu, which H1N1. Everyone remembers that. That was, I feel like when it's really bad, they associate the number with it. Anyway, I caught that shit. And so I am feeling 95% better after 9 days of being down. And so today's show is literally brought to you by Ricola.
Feel free to send us that Ricola money too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because I would not be able to talk for the next hour or so without these things. The show is also brought to you by Puffs Plus Lotion. The Plus Lotion is critical, folks, because you're blowing your nose a zillion times. There's no lotion in that, then your whole face is raw and red and nasty. So you got to get it with the lotion.
What's in you got some essential oils in there, I see.
Oh, yes. I've got the tea tree essential oil.
I thought it was on the tissue.
No, that would be dope.
That would be
I'm
dope.
sure they do have that, Puffs.
But
Probably.
Yeah, you breathe in
Foods
first.
mixed up.
And
Yeah, they
then
have the
you
Vicks
breathe
one.
out,
well, we've got some Vicks here as well today.
There you
These
go.
are all tools that I used to literally get by this past week. Every single one of these.
See, now this
so
reminds me
critical.
of my time in the 90s. I went to some really great raves.
What did you do with Vicks for
Wait.
raves?
Girl.
Did you put it in your hair or something?
No.
What was going
Do tell.
on?
Yeah, what is
You guys aren't hip?
No, what is
I
it
mean,
do?
I went to a lot of raves, but I didn't use no vapor rub.
Girl, so you never you see people wearing the face masks at raves. You ever
Yeah.
see that? The
Yeah.
painter face mask.
Yeah.
You put Vicks on it, or you put it on your nose, and when you're rolling, it I don't know, feels
refreshing.
good. You're like, woo.
Okay.
I'm in the Alps,
Woo! Oh,
but you're actually at Nation.
So
I bet
like
it
vibes
does
go.
feel good. 'cause
I
you
did
get
that at
kinda hot
Nation,
and
just to
feel
put things in
cold.
perspective.
I
you
was
know?
not I was at Nation, but I wasn't that creative with. I wasn't that
Sometimes
creative.
just drugs aren't enough. You know what I'm saying? You need the help of Vic. You know.
Vicks vapor rub, folks. Coming.
Who's Vic anyway? You know what I mean? Who's this
Because
guy?
it's icy and it's hot, so it's
Right.
and you get hot when you're rolling, so the ice, I could see how that
Okay,
would be
like-
insane.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. Like, you know, like those
Although I
roto
don't
drops, those
do
roto eye drops that are all
Yeah.
like, just imagine your whole life like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your whole
I feel
life
like I
is a
missed
dry
out.
eyeball waiting for
I mean,
a
it was
drop.
pretty, I mean, you
I
know.
missed out, man.
You know, it's never too
Yeah,
late.
I'm
Maybe in
glad
a
I
few
missed
years
out.
when the baby's grown, you get you
Take a weekend off.
get you a Mitsubishi, you know what I'm saying, and a
Mitsubishi.
bottle
A
of
triple
Vicks.
stack.
You know what I'm saying? Go all out.
Oh my god.
There's something about that. Or Honda.
Yes. Oh my god. So we also have the chapstick, critical for anyone throughout the
Boom.
winter, must say. Need
Bam.
chapstick.
Life.
Cocoa butter, absolutely. Then we've got the Equate brand Tylenol, because I'm too cheap to buy Tylenol, but it works just the same.
Acetaminophen.
It's awesome. And last but certainly not least, we've got the Robitussin.
Sipping on its scissor.
Wait, that's not last. There's more medicine on the
There's,
table.
there's more medicine, but this is your medicine. I didn't really. My
That's
throat
the real
wouldn't-
medicine.
My
Yeah,
throat
the real
wouldn't
medicine.
allow
The real
me
stuff.
that medicine.
Put that up in the camera.
And this is subtle branding.
The One Love Massive. What kind of weed do we have here today? Actually,
This is definitely grown here. Definitely grown here. Did not
Grown
cross
in
any
DC.
state lines.
yes, homegrown, local.
Hey, no,
Let's
not
get
really.
it.
I don't know. I think it's Gooberry OG.
Smell that.
It's a cross of Afgoo, Hindu
Can't really
Kush
smell anything,
with blueberry.
Yeah, I smelled earlier.
Somebody told me once
very
that good cannabis has the same aroma
As.
as. Who's gonna fill in the blank? Let's see if this is a common thought or if this was just a.
A skunk.
No, not quite.
Nikki?
Me?
Yeah, you need to take a swing at it.
Oh, I thought you meant
I
like
think-
it smelled like me. I was like,
Getting closer.
my body odor.
Hotter.
What do you think the blank is?
Well, I feel like the blank is because it's coming from you, like the punani.
Yes. Ding ding ding.
See, but I never would have thought that.
punani.
I was thinking
Yikes.
like fresh pine cones or the fields of North Carolina. You know,
Martha
like,
Stewart's fall collection.
Have you heard this saying before, Indigo?
I have not. That's a new one.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
I've never heard that
the
either.
cat piss one. That's one I've heard. Definitely had a few pissy strands. But no, first time with Punani.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
There we go.
Everybody
Learn
doesn't
something new
think
every
it
day.
does, but
Can't say I'm an
a
expert.
lot of
in that
people
smell
do.
either,
I don't
but-
know. It's been men that I've heard say this and that I saw say it again. But
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe
Well, men are always wrong, so.
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
can also be a fact.
Facts. Facts.
Anyways,
Coming from an unbiased place.
I'm just
you know.
saying, I think that the verdict is going to come in because as women we know punani, and if none of us
Yes, we do.
can agree,
I don't know. I feel like the punani can smell more like fruit or like cinnamon, sugar, Christmas cookies.
Puppies.
I don't know about puppies.
Teddy bears.
okay, we're gonna pull up. I thought we had a tangent button. We need a tangent timer or something like that.
So
You
actually,
shouldn't have given up your seat, you know what I mean?
We need a bell.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it is.
I wanted to tell you guys about this really crazy dream. I've been really excited to share it with you, actually. So you all had announced on the last show that I'm pregnant. Yay! I'm 17 weeks now, and along with pregnancy comes some really weird, crazy dreams.
Yes. It's like a movie every night.
Yes.
Every single
And
night.
sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's kind of nightmarish. It's all
Kinda.
over the place.
But they're
like,
all vivid.
extremely vivid.
And you remember them.
Yes.
That's
So
what happens
this
when I don't
one-
smoke pot.
Yeah.
This is no pot smoking, yo.
No, man,
this
it-
is just straight.
Pregnant dreams is a whole
cinema.
nother.
So check it out. I'm like on a mission, of course, and I'm in LA. And I don't know what the mission is, but I know I'm on a mission. And I'm in this like super swank hotel, and I'm like about to set up my stuff, but then I hear some people come in the room, and
Are you like a spy or something?
I don't, probably, because I like spy
Like
shit.
an assassin
And I
or
also,
maybe a ninja?
I do think of myself as a ninja, like as an organizer, because I be casing buildings, seeing entrances where workers and executives come in and out. I be doing that kind of shit. So in my mind, sometimes I do. It's the Glambo, you know,
Glambo,
like I get,
for real.
you know. So I'm on my Glambo mission in LA,
So good.
and I hear someone come in the room and so I get under a bed. Now there's 2 like king size beds in this super swank thing. So I get under one to hide. And it's Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. And they're like making out and hugging each other and stuff. And then they get on the bed and then they start doing it. So they're doing it and I'm in the room underneath and I'm like, oh my God, trying to hold my breath. And like Kanye West looks back as he's fucking Kim Kardashian and sees me under the bed, but he just sees me and acknowledges me. And I'm like, oh my God. And he just like keeps doing his thing. And then he says something like, hey there, shorty, like, we see you under the bed. Like, it's cool, you can come out. So I come out, and I'm like,
This is my kind of story.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't remember the exact conversation, but I explain some shit, why I'm there, and it's logical. And they were on some shit like, well, we're not supposed to be in this room either. We just like fucking random rooms in different hotels. And so check this out. They said that, I do remember this, they were like, and we like it when people watch. Meanwhile, just so y'all know, I like don't ever follow anything Kardashian or anything like that. I don't care about their relationship. This is just some wild random shit. Anyway, so then they get dressed or whatever, and then into the room comes Eric Hilton and the dude that plays Will Ferrell's Elf dad in the movie Elf. I forget this actor's name.
Not the human one, but the elf.
Was
dad.
he still an elf?
No,
he was like a regular actor dude.
I
Like
do remember who that is.
Like they were there at a party. He's also in This Christmas or Almost Christmas or something. He's like the white guy in the all black family Christmas movie. Okay, and he's been in a zillion things. You know him. We'll look it up. And anyway, those Eric Hilton of DC, of Thievery Corporation, and this dude comes in the room. They're like, hey, we've been looking for you guys. It's time to go to the party. And so they leave, and then Kim and Kanye are like, you should totally come to this party with us. And I'm like,
bed creeper, come on, let's go.
but they're like, it's a pool party, so get ready. And I'm like, okay, great. Meanwhile, I'm definitely pregnant, like currently. So, but for some reason, I have this like bikini with me that is a little bit too small. So I put it on and have like the whole third boob situation and my pregnant belly sticking out, and I'm walking around the hotel and going to this pool party, strutting around. I'm getting hollered at and shit too, looking terrible. And it's like I look for them for like an hour and I can't find them, and I start having these feelings of like, these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like they stood me up, I can't find them. Then all of a sudden, Kim Kardashian, her little posse is like, hey honey, we've been looking for you. And the like pool party section is over, but then we go to this other house section. Dude, the elf dad is like engaging me in conversation the whole time. I feel like he's trying to hit on me or something, but I'm trying to be polite and cool and whatnot. And we are walking up these stairs, and like he leans on it and the rail like falls off. And this like weird redneck family just happens to be in the like this lodging area, and they're like, oh, we'll fix that or whatever. And so we have to go in and meet their whole family and stuff, and blah. It was weird. Anyway, so we're there, we fix the railing, we go up to the suite where Kim Kardashian, her whole little like party crew and stuff is. And I don't know, somehow her and I get in a room together, and I'm brushing her hair and stuff.
Kinky. I was waiting for it to come back to
I'm
this.
brushing her hair.
You're brushing her
And
hair.
she like wants to do my
She wants to
makeup,
do
my face, and because she does the contours, and I'm like, I don't really like
great-
makeup like that. I'm a real natural. She's like, oh, I can do a light contour. I'm like, okay. So she's like, and we're going out later, so you have to like get it popping. So we're like,
This is the longest fucking dream.
I know.
Who remembers?
I'm sure the actual
it?
dream was like 30 seconds.
I don't know. It felt
my
like
God.
it was hours.
That just blew my mind a little bit.
So then, meanwhile, Kanye West like left. He was like, no more parties in LA. Like literally, he's like, I'm not doing this shit. So he bounced out. But we're like listening to his album, of course, the whole time throughout. It's just always on in the background.
I feel like that's probably super accurate.
So
I
we're-
feel like everywhere Kanye goes, his music is
It's
probably
just
always
playing.
playing.
Nothing but Kanye plays
Right.
around Kanye.
So I'm asking Kim all these questions. I'm like, why Kanye? And she's like, because he's interesting and I'm not bored with him. Everyone bores me and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I guess it makes sense. And then I like asked her about that comment where she was like, oh, get these boxer braids. So we have this conversation about cultural appropriation and like social responsibility, like having all of this, fame and stuff, and how her statements make an impact and everything, and how like Black people's culture could be forgotten, and she's responsible now because she's a mother of Black Armenian children. It was deep, and she was like, didn't want to hear it, but then she did because I said it in a nice way, and she was like, I want you to roll with me. You're gonna be my advisor and stuff like that.
This is amazing.
It was really intense, and then we got dressed up and we went out, and like I was part of the bitches, that rolled with Kim Kardashian. So I don't know if my mission was like to infiltrate the Kardashian family or if it was some other shit and I got derailed. But I tell you one thing I did learn, okay? So you know how Kanye West was like, before he drops his album, The Life of Pablo, he just kept saying TLOP. TLOP is dropping or whatever, and then you found out that's what it stood for. I've been thinking about it, but then she confirmed it in my dream that Pablo stands for pretty ass black lover of Kim Kardashian.
Mystery solved.
What a deep ass dream, y'all.
So
Pregnant
it's
dreams.
really vivid.
This might be a thing. I don't know.
That was pretty crazy.
It was. I just really. And anyway, I feel
You
connected.
should tweet them and be like, low key.
Say what?
Does Pablo stand for? I don't think you can summarize in a tweet, which is the Pablo
You
part.
could just say it and it would be retweeted so many times Kanye would see it.
Maybe.
And then you randomly get flown out to a hotel.
And you should Photoshop an image of you under a bed.
That was so weird.
Dude, very specific.
I know.
Very specific.
I know. I know. I love.
And he like made eye contact with you.
He made direct eye contact with me. It was so weird. Oh my God. So, J Mills, you had some pregnancy dreams. Do you remember any of them?
Not anymore.
No.
Not really, no.
Have any of you had any weird, crazy dreams recently?
Yeah. Well, every time I've had to stop smoking weed, which only was one time in my life, thankfully, but I had a lot of crazy dreams then. But in general, I dream a lot.
I dream, but my last crazy dream that I remember was actually in LA. Yeah.
What?
And I was running around on some crazy mission shit.
What is it about LA and crazy missions?
I don't know. It was so weird. It was like I was a part of this business, and two of my business partners were also on the West Coast, and the whole dream was us trying to link up with the three of us. But our company, we had these businesses, but it was like, you know how I have all these different companies and I'm doing all these different things, and I have companies with different people, and like while we have this company together, the three of us had a business, but we had so much other business that was just intersecting, and at the same time our business was clearly it was national. At least we had different offices because it was like, oh, okay, you got to go to Vegas, but I got to go to Seattle, and the whole time she's in LA, and I try to meet her in LA, but she's up in Oakland, and we go to Oakland, but he's in Vegas, and it just kept on like this whole. We just couldn't get it together throughout the West Coast. It was always just two of us. It was always trying to get to the next thing while at the same time handle the business that we had to handle. And really, we were just trying to get together on some, yo, I haven't seen you. Like, the fuck? We talk all the time. We're doing all these things. We have this whole company, but when are we going to link? So.
Sounds a little reflective of life.
Yeah.
Like stress, you know?
It's very reflective.
You know? Yes.
But that's what dreams always are. I mean, the Aborigines believed that the dream world is the real world, and that the real world that we experience while we're awake is the dream. Because in truth, you know, we're a spirit that's rocking a body. And if you think about life from that perspective, then you realize like, oh, wait, maybe there's more to my dreams and my thoughts than one would think.
That means in my real life, I'm a creepster. Hides under a bed.
Pervert. No, maybe. So I was just thinking about this.
In real life, you're somebody who gets to the dirt that people want to hide about themselves. People that look really good, or businesses that look really good, companies that look really good, but you're there looking to see where the workers are coming in and the executives are coming in.
See who's under the bed.
Oh, they fucking. I knew it.
Yo.
They fucking. They're not supposed to be fucking right here. Oh my God.
You would be surprised about the kind of information I do know about politics behind the doors in D.C. about who's doing what and who's fucking and who was fucking and all.
But whole time an entry into politics.
I don't want to know this stuff, but
maybe you're supposed to be this like. Okay, I got an interpretation for you here. Maybe you're gonna be like Glambo for real, and you're gonna be like an undercover like stylist, superhero, like political, like social activist who like by day operates as a stylist, and like while you're making people pretty, you're just like dropping wisdom nuggets all up in their shit about being black and Armenian.
Buckets and nuggets.
And raising some beautiful ass children. But for real, maybe that, you know, like...
I mean, that's pretty close to reality.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know about the Armenian
You just don't really want
clientele.
to... You just don't want to be doing that for famous people because, like, working for... Can you imagine, like, actually working for Kim Kardashian?
I mean, it's a lot more money.
Whole lot.
So that's kind of like...
Even if you just work for a day.
Yeah. I'd go for it.
Well, holler at me, Kim, if you're watching. Let me
You could like post-it note like little wisdom nuggets all over their house.
An advisor of African affairs.
Yes.
Boom.
That would be dope.
Self-appointed.
Have you had any crazy dreams or repeat dreams in your life?
Well, all of my dreams I feel like are pretty much the same. Like I'm always running from something.
Jesus.
No, seriously. But
I
I
wanna,
never
like, hug
died
you.
though, so it's weird. And I don't know about you guys, but I always see my dreams like I guess it's called first person. Like you know the video games where
you see like the guns. Like,
Yeah,
so you don't see yourself
exactly.
in your dream.
No.
Did you
Do you
see
guys see yourself?
You're like 3 feet above yourself.
Did you ever see your face? You were very aware of your body, but Nikki, did you see?
Yeah, I saw myself.
Interesting.
You saw your face?
Yeah.
The God perspective.
Yes.
There are these different perspectives.
I've
Oh my
never seen
God.
myself.
When I'm deep into dreaming, like, yo, y'all know
Does that mean I have a God complex?
No, that just means that you.
I mean, do you?
I'm
You want to
humble.
talk about this?
No,
Like,
I'm humble. That's what I was worried.
No, that just. It's just all different types and perspectives. You have first person, like first person is a very passionate perspective. It's a very driven perspective. It's a very active perspective. It is not observant until after the fact. That's when it's able to look back on what happened and try and be like, but you might have missed some details because it's first person. The observer has the ability to look and survey at all of these different things, but they don't have control over what's happening. So is, you know, yin and yang. It's not like one is good or bad or anything like that. It's just like different kind of perspectives.
I felt like omnipresent in my dream. I felt like I was watching everything happening and participating at the same time.
That's pretty deep. The fact that it was that long and you remember that much of it is mad.
Yeah,
So
like
clear.
the pregnant dreams are.
And
Like,
there's
for real,
other
that's some
ones
other
too.
shit.
There's like been at least 4 or 5 other
We're gonna
dreams
have a whole nother
where I could tell
podcast
you,
for Nikki's
I had
dreams
a crazy dream
and
last
J
night.
Mills psycho trips.
Wait, so you guys like, do you actually feel when you're dreaming?
Yes.
Because I always feel, and I can always like control it for the most part, like when I'm running.
If you can remember your dreams, you're lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is when your conscious mind is aware of the dream, and oftentimes it's in the middle of the dream. You're never aware of how you got to where you got to. You just have this moment of awareness. That is your conscious mind, and that's how you're able to look. So to train yourself in lucid dreaming, when you have that moment in your dream, that aha, I am dreaming. That's a powerful thought. When the whole metaphysics, who is I that realized? What does it mean that before I didn't know? I was being tricked. I did, and then suddenly I woke up and was like, "Hey, now, I am in a dream." And after that thought, you actually have the power to travel anywhere you want to in space and time, as far as you can dream. You are at the essence of the all that you came with, as much as you care to remember. So it's very interesting in terms of first person versus observing, and then those who don't remember the dreams, if it's really disjointed, because of just how vast the mind is and how much work is done when you go to sleep. Crazy. Like, why do you sleep? It's not because your body's tired. You can rest and you can meditate and not need sleep. You can lay down and think that you're tired and just be in your bed. Like,
yeah, if your mind is active, you're not going to sleep no matter how tired your body
no,
is.
sleep is your spirit shutting all body functions down and taking a trip out of the suit that it wears every day. That's why when you're depressed, you sleep all the time, because your spirit is light. And it'd be like, fuck this dark ass body. Shit, goddamn. I'm going to sleep and just float. You might not even remember your dreams. All you want to do is sleep. But I mean, like I said, I'm deep into it, man.
That is deep.
As human beings, you know, what does it mean to be? Who is I? What does that mean when you realize that I am? Why is that so profound? But when you sleep at night, if you're a person who lucid dreams, you are one of a rare few who have the ability to control your subconscious consciously. And we all have these, and that's what creativity is all about, honestly. The ability to access your thoughts, your dreams, that before you even bring it into words or write it down.
It starts with a thought.
It does. It starts with a dream.
Man, you know what is crazy too? Because I had the flu and stuff, like, I was having trouble breathing and I couldn't sleep for a long time. I could not escape to that dream space and shut things off. And after like 5 days, I was going delirious, because I have a kind of mind that is like constantly going, always with something that needs to be done, some crazy thought, something just constantly on a loop. So I need that escape time in order to like reset and be able to like deal with that loop the next day. And I could not get that. And then like that night that I had that dream, I was starting to get better, but I was still having interruptions from my breathing in the dream. And I remember at one point waking up from that dream and being like, I need to fucking go back to sleep right now. That was a dope story. I want to find out what keeps happening, and like chose to like go back to sleep so I could fall back into it.
And did you?
Yes.
Do you all write your dreams down?
I do not, because I feel like they're so like, when I wake up and try to remember, it's so choppy. But I try to write down kind of like the symbolic things. Like if I have a lot of dreams about snakes. Most of the time I'm getting bitten by one. Like I had one that crawled into my window. This is all black too.
Who don't you
And it bit me on the foot. And as I'm sleeping, I can feel it. But I don't
Like
remember
that
what
actually
happened
or
after.
in a dream?
No, this was in a dream. But
Okay.
I felt like my body feel the bite. But once
Interesting.
I woke up, like, I don't know what happened afterwards or before that. I just remember that moment. So I don't actually remember like whole dreams, but I remember moments in my dreams, which I'm
starts
assuming
there.
are
You gotta
important.
train your brain.
So I used to have
I
a
gotta
bunch
do
of
more meditating. See, this is
Yeah.
why I do yoga a lot. So this is what my journey has come to as well. Like in this whole rebirth and trying to find yourself. You kind of learn to find happiness in things that are unpleasant or things that burden you or sadden you or whatever the situation may be. Especially when you are living in the city and a lot of things are constant and you got to keep moving. It's a bit chaotic and a lot noisier. You got to learn to find peace in those things as well. So then in turn, you do have that clarity to where nothing can shake you or nothing can really knock you. But it takes a lot of practice. Just as you like physically have to exercise, you have to exercise the mind too. And you have to, you have to keep practicing that. So
Yeah.
that's
Mentalize.
yeah, mentalize. There you go.
The word I came up with.
I like it.
Me and my friend Wana Hobby. Shout out to Wana.
So tell us, you practice yoga, but tell us more about Indigo Green and about
Yes.
your cannabis business, your flower. Just tell the viewer what you do and how you do it and why your shit is super dope.
Okay, I can do that. Well, so my whole goal here in DC is to basically see it come to the point where quality is accessible to everybody. And I just want to inspire, well, right now, I just want to inspire people to kind of live a better life and, realize that life is pretty simple. Once you detach yourself from the things that kind of dilute your happiness. And I mean that in a sense, like sometimes you may think, oh, well, this brand new bag makes me happy, but essentially it's just a brand new bag. And nothing holds any value until you decide to give it that. So I think it needs to be a shift in people's mentality and awareness and learning that the value of things isn't in a brand new bag and purse, but in like a walk in the park or just taking that time out, 10, 15 minutes to meditate and, exercise your mind, mentalize or whatever.
Mentalize.
Yeah, so that's, and, it can become a little preachy, which is what I'm trying to avoid. Like, you don't want to be that hotep, always preaching about something and all this other stuff. So I kind of want to do it by showing people, by living it. And that's kind of what Indigo Green is about. It's about being relatable and being real and raw. And to inspire the people, y'all. Live your best life.
And so part of the way that you are living your best life is through cultivating flowers and meditating with the use of marijuana, correct?
Correct, yeah. So obviously Mary holds a very special place in my heart. From literally, personally, it's helped me as far as like from anxiety to like if I'm sore after a workout. Like that's the range that it can go as far as my love for it. But as far as growing goes, I've kind of developed these techniques that have worked for the home grower, like the do-it-yourselfer, the grower on a budget. And that's kind of who, I'm trying to target is, the people who are kind of discouraged because they don't have all the money or they don't know where to go. And like they see all these growers and they have, this expensive ass equipment and this dope ass setup. They have a whole room and it's like, yeah, that stuff is great. But, all it takes is motivation and you can get the same product. You can get the same results. That's what I'm gearing towards, like the do-it-yourselfers, because that's literally what I do. Like everything that I know, everything that I've learned have been from me, studying and doing and experimenting and failing and picking myself back up and trying it again. It's a journey, but it's one of growth and it's very fulfilling. And I definitely encourage everybody to get into the growing epidemic going on here right now.
So are you a soil girl, soil cocoa girl?
I am a soil girl. So
Word.
yes, I actually just started doing my own soil.
You compost?
Yes.
Hey,
well,
the living soil.
Composting, man. So I've started my own. I just relocated into a new house like 3 months ago. So my grow it had a few setbacks. So I'm literally like restarting everything. And so part of that is doing a compost. Before I was working with somebody, so it was a bit easier. Now I'm kind of taking on all the roles, so it has become a bit more difficult, a bit more time consuming. Yeah. But like I said, it's very, very rewarding and fulfilling. So the compost is going to take some time, but I started a band. I'm journeying it on my Instagram. If you guys follow me, I think it's a month into it. So I'll be doing an update on that pretty soon. But yeah, from the compost, and then I build my own soil with the cocoa base, actually.
Nice. My favorite too.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm trying to do the whole organic thing, It just makes for a better taste, a smoother smoke, the whole nine. So I definitely want to stay on that route. And eventually, hopefully, venture off into hydro once my grow expands. That'd be nice.
Why do you want to do hydro?
Just to get the experience, really. I'm not particularly like drawn to it,
right,
but I do want to know how it works and, the science behind it and know if I can be successful with the different methods. And see how they compare to each other and that whole thing. So cocoa is work for me, and it's affordable.
When you say cocoa, are you doing like shredded coconut? Is that what you're talking about when you say
cocoa?
Husk.
Husk.
Like,
Yeah.
I do a soil cocoa mix.
Yeah.
Well.
Interesting.
I do that.
Interesting.
It is. I mean, it works for me.
Perlite.
The only issue would be like drainage, but you can easily like combat drainage with like.
Do you put a layer of cocoa at the bottom and the perlite at the bottom of your pots?
I do not. So I mix it all together.
Put a layer of perlite and coconut at the bottom, just at the bottom, and that'll solve that problem.
So for our viewers that have no freaking idea about
I know, right?
what they're talking about,
and maybe people in the room.
Indigo, can you take the novice grower or someone that wants to grow, like, what are the basic materials that they need to grow a weed plant?
Dirt and sun.
Dirt, sun, and water, right?
Basically, yeah. I mean, that's the essentials, right? Light, water, and love.
Some timers, and some time.
Money, lots of money.
Lots of money. A sense of humor.
Are you growing indoor or outdoor, seasonally? Like,
well, I grow indoor, so I find that that's probably the most consistent.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about the weather and
environment and bugs.
Yeah.
And as much.
Although you can get pests in your indoor grow, like for
very
sure.
much so.
And those are a bitch, and you definitely don't want those.
Never had them. Don't know.
But
I'm lying like shit. I got them right now.
If you're in DC and you grow indoors,
Fucking
you got
spider
some
mites,
fucking
man.
spider
what have
mites
you
at
been
some point.
doing to get them out of
Some
there?
method one. I sprayed them with some method one, and I mean, I it's a long story. It's a long
I
story.
It always
boiled
is,
peppermint and cinnamon and
it's
garlic.
Method
I
one
do
is like all
peppermint and neem
essential
oil.
oils.
And I literally one time I did lavender too, actually.
Lavender.
And I mix it. Yeah,
I
mix
can
it all
imagine
together.
that being
And
cool.
Literally, like even like I think I had. Yeah, it was a lavender essential oil, and I have like a burner, an oil burner, and I just like cranked it up and get the smell going, and just the fumes alone.
Keep them away.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Shout
taking
outs
notes.
to natural pest control techniques,
Yes.
man. Shout
Yes.
outs to knowing your grower. Shout outs to growing your own.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in DC right now, and I was so excited that you were a guest today. Like, you saw I cut it by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. Like, y'all don't know that I just got my breath together, before we went live. But yeah,
There is a lot.
we are in the wild, wild west
We are.
right now of DC.
I'll tell you what. I got 2 bubble buckets for you when you're ready. Like 2
Ayy.
hydroponic buckets.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, I'll definitely get to that.
All you
because-
need is like a couple inches of roots, and you're in there. Not even 3
Well, see,
inches.
I gotta brush up on my knowledge first, though. See, I'm like, I gotta be prepared for everything. Like, I'm kind of a perfectionist.
Hydro's easy. If you can
It's
do
so
soil,
easy.
you can easily do hydro.
Leaves
See,
the
everybody's
size
like,
of
oh,
your
it's so much more
face.
temperamental, and like, you gotta be more calculated. And
That's
all
what
this
people
stuff.
who don't. Okay, so excuse me. I'm sure that because you grow and just from this conversation that you pay attention to your plants, and some people may not know what a healthy plant looks like. They may not see when it's starting to get bad and underestimate what is going on. The problem with hydro is that unlike soil's a bit more forgiving, so if you can flush your soil out
Right.
and kind of be all right, but if you put the wrong nutrient blend into your water mix, it's not forgiving at all.
Right.
You're gonna lose everything. But yeah.
See,
What do you
But
mean
they
nutrient
grow.
blend? You can't just get some Miracle Grow and put it on it?
No.
Yeah, sure, if you want your plant to die.
If you
can-
want to smoke Miracle Grow.
I've never used Miracle Grow.
No, you can't do that.
No, I mean,
You gotta
it
educate
is.
the people. Like, what do you mean nutrient blend?
Well, so when you're growing in hydroponics, it's growing in water. And so the root ball is reaching for water. And so that means that all your nutrients, all of the fertilizers you're giving the plant have to be water soluble. They have to
Do you
mix
use
up.
organic or?
I don't
synthetic
I don't do hydro anymore. I was always a soil girl and I did a couple rounds of hydro. And I mean, they grow like
Yeah.
fucking beautiful, like leaves the size of your face and shit. Just fern gully
They grow
looking
faster,
fucking
yeah.
plants. Yeah.
Way faster. You'll get
faster.
at least one more harvest a year.
It was a problem. Like I had like 2 different harvests. My plants got too big, and I had to like
Yeah.
trim them
Yeah, I've
down
had
It's
that issue.
literally
before
like
I flipped them.
It's like steroids for your plants, but just like steroids do things to humans, steroids do things to plants.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm thankful for my trip to Jamaica to learn the natural ways that these things were done and to see how certain variables were manipulated to the point where they were controlled exactly, and that kind of caused this false environment that manipulated the plant to create more crystals or, you know, increase the terpene amount. So I don't know. It's a fine line. Like I love to just look at the same kind of thing with humanity and the things that we do, from arching our eyebrows or, you know, trimming your plant, and how that can literally change the genetics of your plant for the next generation. If you really, really aggressively are lollipopping and cutting it back or cutting off these nodes and changing the way that plant looks, it genetically remembers that.
Oh, shit.
And its offspring
For real?
are going to be like, oh yeah. I mean, just like how people avoid pain. Plants were like, oh, last time I had all this other shit, you cut me. I ain't even gonna grow all that shit
I
this
never
time.
forget
Yeah,
you.
they adjust.
And
very
so
quickly.
that's how over time you're able to create these different strains and these different nuances and bring out these particular characteristics. Because like a pure sativa or a pure indica are very interesting, but these hybrids, which is what pretty much everything is now, is taking these different qualities. It takes how fast and how tall your pure sativa goes and gives it the stickiness and the density and the faster flower time of an indica. But
Yeah, I always found it interesting, and I always wanted to know more about when they crossbreed like the same strand with each other. I mean, I don't know much about breeding. That's definitely something
yeah.
I like to know more
It's
of.
awesome.
But I'm assuming that you'll get, well, the children will be like more one parent than the other, but
it's
It's like,
again
how
with
do
the
you-
humanity thing, and this is a horrible example, but I mean, we do know that royalty kept its bloodlines close. And that's pretty much what you're doing when you talk about mixing or back crossing or reinforcing a plant with itself. If you know that, you know, every seed is different, like every child is different, just
Right.
because the same parents had multiple children, even if you had twins, they're not the same person. So by nature of a seed, you will never have the same plant identically. So yeah, you will, they have different
Wisdom nugget for sure.
They
It's
have
not
different
best
qualities.
wisdom
Definite
nugget.
wisdom nugget.
Yeah, that's the beauty of breeding and then cloning and
Right. See, well, eventually, I mean, hopefully I like to have my own strand one day. But I definitely do think it's interesting how you can like you were saying, manipulate plants to kind of like get your desired results. So,
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, like naming plants and everything. I mean, like I'm in this cannabis education. It's what I do deeply.
yes, let's
And
do it.
and trying to figure out, like, why isn't weed legal? Why can't I get a prescription for weed? Why can't you just prescribe this particular strain? Like, what's going on here? Even in working in the industry and trying to find this information out from the strains that we have and the information that we have, and learning about how, again, just like human beings, anybody got a bad sibling for no ass reason? Anybody got a sibling that's an asshole or a jerk
I think
or unnaturally awesome?
my siblings
Everything.
have a sibling like that.
Just because you have the same parents definitely doesn't mean you're going to have the same children. And even if you have the same children, if you send one of your children to public school and one of your children to private school, they're going to have a completely different outcome. So just because I got this purple haze strain and I grow it in my house, that doesn't mean that it's going to have the same THC percentage or terpene profile that its parent had. Even though it's a clone, it still won't be exactly the same.
So that's where you get the different phenols from. And a lot of times when crossbreeders want to kind of keep a certain trait of the strand, I imagine that's why they would cross it with the same strand. It's like, okay, for this cherry pie was super fruity and this one was super fruity. We cross it together, we have a kid that's super fruity, and that's a dominant trait that's consistent. In every harvest you're gonna have, it's gonna be fruity.
Nope, because the temperature and the environment can change that.
Well,
so you could grow it. You could change the
sense,
temperature and make it purple, and have a completely different smell. You could change the. You could change some of the frequencies of the LEDs and the lights. Add these different waves that can manipulate the plant. Like
yes, I definitely could agree with that. But I think in terms of genetics, when you have a strong parent that has been reran, it gets diluted to the point where those traits will obviously dominate the recessive traits.
Yeah.
So of course you can always find methods and techniques to manipulate things to get your desired results from whatever you want from that.
Definitely.
But you can't change genetics, you know what I'm saying? But overall, you can maybe, probably enhance it to where it's like even more fruit forward to the point where you can pinpoint, what fruit it tastes like.
Hell yeah.
Or maybe it's, not as fruity as, the parent strand because, maybe you didn't flush, so there's a shit ton of like trace nutrients left in your final product. So the taste is just fucked. But
I mean, basically, like, for phenotypes and genetics, anybody interested in the same thing and don't understand or never knew, like, how does a strain even happen? What is it for real? What does it mean to be stable? What is the F1, F2, F3, F4? What does this mean? F4, the fourth generation, is when you achieve somewhat of a stable genetic plant phenotype that will more often than not yield you a plant of a particular type. 4 generations of back crossing and going through and having the ability to look at all of the plants that grew from the seeds that came from this one and doing tests to see which one had the strongest whatever, or and then mix those again to it's a beautiful thing though, man. What
if you just like to smoke weed and you live in the District of Columbia and you want to be compliant, whatever that means?
Grow your own.
How do you just get started? How does the basic person that doesn't know about like phenotypes and the generations and whatnot, how do you just like get a seed and like see what happens? How did you get started? How did you learn? How did you even begin to learn about, how to grow?
Well, actually at the time when I was moving into an old home of mine, the landlord had just started Capsterdam. Shout out to Capsterdam. I don't know if you all know about them. And he's like, do you want to take some classes? I just started this school pretty much. And of course, like, why wouldn't I? And then through that course, it kind of motivated me to actually do it, because I was also in a house of like-minded people and growers too. So that helped as well. And I wasn't going into it like completely blinded. So once I got a lot of connects through that, I literally, like, once I passed the test and stuff, I literally walked into a shop and got a used tin. It came with a light and some bags of soil. And the guy was super nice. He's like, if you need help setting it up, like, you can just give me a call, blah, blah, blah. It probably cost me, like, for everything, I want to say $300, maybe not even that.
What was the shop you went to? Was it here in D.C.?
It was not in D.C.
Never mind then. Moving forward.
Yes, let's do that. But no, literally it was like $300, and it came with the HPS, in which I literally swear by.
Yeah.
I know everybody's a fan of the LEDs, but I kid you not, like, and even if you're looking at like cultivators, you rarely see them using the LED.
No, supplemental light only.
But yeah, it came with an HPS and
What is HPS?
High pressure sodium.
Yes.
It's like the super bright.
Generates a lot of heat, which is why a lot of people don't
You're
like
so
it.
funny,
But
Nikki.
if you have the proper ventilation,
I'm so surprised that I was able to
it's
answer
no
that.
issue.
No, I wasn't surprised you could answer it. I was like, all of you were like, duh. Like, anyone should know what HPS means.
I mean,
We should have like a whole grow talk show, yo. Like
yes,
we just
this is
we
hella
go on forever.
educational.
can we give a shout out to your T-shirt? Like we talking about
Yeah.
phenotypes and
and
all of
trends,
that, man.
Shout out to Gelato. What is that? Sunset and Girl Scouts. I
Sunset
wanna say?
Sherbert and yes,
Don't quote
it
me
is.
on that, but you can quote me on that.
Is that a type of weed that you grow
Gelato.
or like to grow?
I have not grown gelato, actually. It's one of the newer strains. So I don't, if you follow me, like I do the classics, My last harvest was White Widow. I had some Northern Lights. I've done that. OG Kush I've done a couple of times. So like I'm like a classics kind of girl. There's a lot of new strands out there. Like I can't even keep up. Gelato is one of them. Girl Scout cookies seems to be hot. Platinum cookies. There's all types of cookies nowadays. But I'm sticking to the classics. I'll probably venture off, but I actually want to start doing CBD strands. So
Nice.
that's my next move.
So in addition to the different types of flowers you're growing, you also make some dope T-shirts. Can we show our audience some of her merchandise?
Yes.
Where can
Hey.
people
Check
Where
those
can people get
out.
one of your dope T-shirts?
Well, we do pop-ups, but I rarely do those. I've probably done about 3 thus far.
Oh, thank you.
That's how we met too.
Yeah, right.
Shout out
We've
to
come full
Grow with
circle
Lisa.
right now, right? No, seriously. Hey,
She connected us.
Word.
connected us too.
Okay.
But yeah,
who? We should shout her out.
Yes.
yeah.
Grow with
Lucia.
Lisa.
Lisa, how you doing?
Yes. As a matter of fact,
She does a live
everybody
video, I
looking-
think, weekly too. She's a dope grower. She's spitting the
Yep.
knowledge as well. So
Yep.
definitely
Shout out
check
to
her
the
out.
patch,
So
man.
I'm not familiar
She
with the
has
person.
You can follow her. It's like Grow with Lisa, but it's GROWITHLISA.
Okay.
Grow with Lisa. You
Gotcha.
can follow her on Instagram. She does events and educates people and connects people in the cannabis community.
I mean, that's an amazing connection right there. She
Yeah,
should definitely get a shout out for that. That's awesome.
You know how I met her? I met her like 10 years ago almost as a restaurant worker. She's a really powerful voice and advocate for paid sick days here in the district. She's one of the
Yes.
most powerful
paid sick
voices to help us actually win that for restaurant workers.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Grow
She
with
does
Lisa.
cannabis cardio too, I believe.
She does do the cannabis cardio.
And I'm all for like incorporating cannabis to enhance your workout lifestyle. I know it's kind of like, a stigma towards that, and if you're healthy you can't be a smoker or whatever it is. But that's definitely false, because you don't have to smoke weed. Actually, if you don't need to, you can use it as a topical, or you can
Yep.
eat it instead.
Yep.
So yeah,
Lay on it.
let's definitely get more to that.
Yeah. Shout out
Especially if you do yoga.
Shout out to Grandma Kay. I gave her some CBD oil over Christmas.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yo,
It's always nice when like you can give,
Oh yeah, no, my family. I don't know if they're probably watching, but
Hey, fam.
they're definitely
Shout outs to your
supportive.
lovely
Let's just say
family.
that.
Very supportive. Very supportive.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
as you all know.
So yeah, for our viewers, definitely follow Indigo Green on Instagram. You
Yes.
can see her beautiful pictures. There's super beautiful and dope, and she's when she's doing events and pop-ups where you can get her t-shirts and tinctures and other awesome things that she experiments and makes with. You can learn about that by following her Instagram page. I think we have a graphic where it's up there. It's at Indigo Green _.
Yeah, somebody took Indigo Green, so
Damn them.
Bastards.
Damn them all to hell.
exactly right. But no, as far as my shirts, sorry, I want to bounce back to that as well. You can also, we do custom orders. So the person that I work with for the shirts, I don't know if you are familiar, but his name is Scooter Gold. So he does like customized orders. Like we literally are pressing the shirts like ourselves. And so you can do down to like, if you want a different color, or even if you have an idea that you want to see come to life, he can do that as well. He's really dope. He's also a grower too, actually. Which is how we met. And we basically collabed on the cannabism apparel, but he does a shit ton of dope stuff. He has one that's taken off right now, and it's like a Death to Racism shirt, which is super relevant right now. So definitely check him out too. Shout out to Scooter Gold. And yeah, we
Very
just
nice.
trying
Death
to
to racism is always relevant.
I know. I was like, hell yeah.
very, very much so. But like, I mean, the time is definitely now. So it seems
Yeah.
that we've finally come to a point where we're ready to act.
Amen.
And yeah, let's see how it unfolds.
That's exciting. There's a really awesome community here in the district of growers, and it's just really exciting times here,
Very. It seems we're trying to coin it as the district of cannabis.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
I like it.
I approve.
District of
I
Cannabis,
literally had that
hashtag.
shirt on earlier.
What?
I changed my shirt because I had to pick up my baby boy and the J Suite. But
mean,
I
that
wish
shirt
I had
works
a shout outs to Regal Thoughts. It's such a dope ass shirt. Like, wow, serendipity. Literally
Definitely gotta
says
check that out because I
District
would
of
definitely rock
Cannabis.
that.
Yeah, man. It's red, black, and green.
Nice.
Very nice.
Dope shirt. Again, shout outs to Regal Thoughts. Shout outs to Gelato. Shout outs to Indigo
Gelato.
Green.
I don't know, like what's your guys'
Underscore.
favorite strand? Or do you have one? How you feel about that?
I'll let
You
you,
know-
all go first. Man.
You know, I love Blue Dream, and I know Blue Dream is
I'm
like
with you on that.
the what basic strain or whatever. It's easy to grow. It's really
That's
big.
classic.
It's so good. It is so good. It is so good, and you
Sativa Domino. And yeah.
yeah, and you
tried and
always
true.
know when it's the real deal, and it always works, and it tastes so good. And yeah, I have a bunch of chronic pain, and Blue Dream
Yeah.
just does it, man.
Blue Dream is definitely top 3 for me. Number 1 is probably gonna go for some good old GDP.
Oh, shit.
That's like, I mean, it looks nice. It smokes even better, and
Tastes like 2000, early 2000s.
definitely early
Yeah.
2000s.
Makes
Yeah.
me feel so good.
I
And,
feel like for
it's
like
just
3 years, all I had it was solid, but
But
it
now
was,
it's like you can't even
Can't
find
get
it.
it,
And it's
no.
like if you do find it,
No.
it's like
it's purple Urkel. It's grape
yeah, right,
Yeah.
purple punch and like
You
all
know?
this other forbidden fruit.
I think my number
I
one
just
though is
want some-
Tangy.
Tangy.
That shit is just so fucking tasty.
I haven't tried it, but I've smelled it.
It's
And tasty. Yeah,
it's
I can definitely do
ridiculous.
that.
I've been the newest strain that I think I've really become a fan of is probably Gorilla Glue.
Oh yeah. Can we
I
call
can't
it
get
that?
off of that.
Can
Number
we even?
4.
I know there was some big deal about the Gorilla Glue, the glue.
What they gonna do? They gonna
And,
sue
like-
me?
They did. They like
It's
I missed the
GG4
memo.
now.
I
or
didn't know.
GG or something.
yeah.
Whatever.
I just don't think it's an impressive looking plant.
Oh, what? It's super frosty. I actually love Gorilla Glue too. That'd probably be my.
It's kind of
newbie.
stringy.
But I
feel
should
like.
specify and say that I love the pain relief that Gorilla Glue consistently gives, and the kind of mellow calm that also consistently comes with Gorilla Glue.
Sour diesel too.
I was
is a
thinking
favorite
of that, but I
mine.
don't because of how inconsistent it is.
It's very.
And
I
very,
grew
very,
I
some
don't ever see the
fire
sour diesel I liked.
diesel.
Really? I would
Remember?
have. You did, and it was awesome. It was all fluffy. And
Yes.
that's the sour I like.
I
Lime
need
green,
it.
fluffy.
Yes.
That New York diesel, that dark green, heavy gas. Yeah, you same one. You're saying them
I
all.
need it to sting my nose when I smell it. Like, ugh,
I knew
haven't had
y'all
good sour
would be
diesel in a
able.
long time.
I knew y'all would be able to relate in Kara's conversation
I love,
because
This is
I-
what life
We
is
love
about,
weed, everybody.
you love weed. I love weed
Yeah.
too, but I'm like, does it smoke? Okay, great. I like that one.
You see, but you can change that, and I think the more we do have talks like this, and the more open we are about it, the more we normalize cannabis,
Yeah.
the more
Yeah.
we're gonna have more connoisseurs out there that
Yes.
know what they're smoking.
Connoisseurs.
Yes. Be a
We
connoisseur.
need more.
Wow.
Yes.
That I'm all about that. Shameless plug for the Master Terp tasting class with the Green Life. Make sure you come through. 30 strains at least
Oh wow.
to smell. What's very interesting is that I've noticed as I've gone up in strain, people still smoke the same amount of
Oh, okay.
strains. And yes, generally the same ones.
Yeah, I find that DC loves OG.
They do.
They really
It's
love
so
it.
annoying.
It's very
They don't
annoying.
even know it. You could, it's so annoying.
It's
I'm not gonna go on this
probably the most
OG
annoying-
rant,
yeah.
but it's like,
yeah. Can we actually ban that for 2000?
yeah,
don't
like
even-
just because you
they
saw it in
don't
a
even
fucking rap
know
video
what they're
doesn't mean it's the
talking
best
about.
strain. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Somebody endorsed it. Some
I mean, granted,
famous
it's like
person endorsed
the
it. and
parent of like a lot of strands out here, but
It's
it's
a good
let's give
s-
it a break. Okay?
It's a good strain,
Give it a rest.
but
It's not even OG is not a strain. Let's get that for the record. OG stands for Ocean Grown,
right.
which is a direct reference to a specific
where it's
part
grown.
of
Well,
Northern
Sit for original
California,
California.
also known as the Emerald
Yeah.
Triangle,
Uh-huh.
along the coast, where at this part of the world, the planet, the earth, the land is actually ancient coral, because the ocean used to come in as far as like where Salt Lake City, Utah. That's why the lake is salty, because the ocean
Right.
I did not know
came
that.
in like
I
that.
thought it was just salty.
How else would we have a desert with sand? How does sand get in the
I don't
middle
know.
of it comes? It's the bottom of the. It was the floor of the ocean. That's,
Did you ever read The Alchemist?
By Paulo Coelho, that's literally my favorite. I'm so glad you brought that.
yeah.
up. He's
Speaking
my
of
favorite
dreams,
author.
yo,
Full
The
circle.
people
I need to
that
read this
remember
book.
their
This is a good omen.
dreams.
I'm
No,
just saying.
it is.
a
No,
great
seriously. Literally my top author, probably. I mean, yeah, definitely. I'd say so. He's like a Brazilian guy. Even his like personal life is freaking crazy.
It is.
But like his books are so, and I like how each of them kind of have like a different theme. Like with The Alchemist, like you have this guy on a journey and he just comes full circle at the end of it, and like it's kind of in a sense of like you're always where you need to be. And that's kind of what I learned from that. And then from there, I kind of like that book literally changed my life. From there, I like went on to read his other books, and like he has so many. And he even talks about like obviously like your spirituality and how you can incorporate that into your day-to-day life, and how if you remain aware, fate will come for you, all this stuff. But he literally has a book, which is how why I like to kind of share my message through clothing. I think this one was from either The Pilgrimage or Bright Up, but he says, clothes transform emotion into matter. And I never realized how, much my mood is impacted by what I'm wearing, or like how I look. But oftentimes when you look good, you feel good, right? And even if you feel bad, you look good and you'll still be okay. And like even just getting my eyebrows done, like we all know how much that changes your whole life when your eyebrows are fleeky, right? And like when they're not, it's like, like why is life against me? Like everything is gone to hell. But that's kind of like why I went through with clothing.
I'm not fleeky.
I was just looking at them earlier this week. I was like, man,
Oh
I
man.
need to get these shaped
When I
up.
don't get my
It's like
eyebrows
that a
arched,
lot.
I look 12.
It does
child.
definitely. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
I got
but-
carded for tobacco with my eyebrows arched, and I was like, "Oh my god, I really need to go get these done." I'm like,
That's when
you
you
think
knew.
I'm a teenager?
Man.
Because of the eyebrows, though, I don't.
I would have to show you. Afterwards, I'll show you guys footage of me with my eyebrows not arched, and you'll be like, "Oh my god,
It makes them
are you
different.
12?"
That's facts. The clothes are very important, which is, this is why I chose this way to kind of share my message.
I love it, man. Activism through apparel
By looking good,
is the thing.
Absolutely.
It's a thing,
Yes.
and now is the time. Like, what a
It
time to be alive. There's so many things.
I mean,
from
it's
our
honestly-
hair to the shirts, and I love wearing weed. Pass the J. Word of that. You know.
It's definitely
Wish I had my
empowering.
District of Cannabis shirt on though.
I mean, that's why I started Tiger Swan a year and a half ago, is because in the movement, I saw these women who were like carrying the work, running that shit, but, weren't always speaking up in the meetings and weren't always countering some of the bullshit decisions that men were making. And I was like, you know what? And I noticed that their outfits weren't on fleek either. So I was like, if I can just have some time with women to talk about how they feel, when they feel most powerful and beautiful, and figure out what that looks like through clothes material, and help them feel on point every day when they're stepping into the workplace, then maybe they'll feel more confident at saying what they know needs to be said.
Right.
You know?
I can definitely agree with that. I can even say just like, even my posture definitely is like dependent on my outfit. Like a lot of times if I don't feel comfortable in something that I'm wearing or something like that, I become a little more standoffish. Maybe I have my arms crossed all the time, or like, I'm just not as approachable. But like when you're just going through life and, your everyday thing, you don't really realize how that impacts you into like you're feeling good. And you're just like,
oh shit.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Feeling
I'm
myself.
doing it right now. Yeah, you feeling yourself, exactly. But I mean, obviously you can tell when you're depressed, like, what do you want to wear? Like nothing but sweatpants and like your favorite tee and
Should see me last
your
week.
bonnet every night. Yeah, exactly. That's like the depressed attire right there. But
Jay Mills is like, that's my standard outfit, and I look fly as fuck in it. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, a nice pair of sweats is my favorite tee. You can never go wrong with that.
See,
But,
I just wear like really dark black clothing, so no one
I
really
love
knows
black.
what I'm wearing. And then, see, most of my attire is
It's
actually
classic.
dependent
Very
on
classic.
the bike, because I ride a bike. And in the summertime, like I can't just wear anything because I ride a bike everywhere I go, and I'm not changing riding a bike because of my outfit. You know what I mean? Like, I show up to a meeting sometimes sweaty, and I don't really give a fuck because
you shouldn't.
I rode my bike. And like, are we here to do business, or are we here for me to like not be sweaty? Like, why would that fucking matter? You know what I mean? Like, why would that matter? So, but
Yeah.
in the wintertime, I don't really have an excuse. I literally own like 4 of these sweaters and like 3 pairs of these pants, and I wear them pretty much every day.
you have a
It's all about
standard
what makes-
uniform.
I do.
It
I
makes you
just
feel
switch up my
sexy.
Adidas, like different color
dope,
Adidas. That's
you know?
it. Like,
There's people like Karl Lagerfeld, like Anna Wintour. They always wear the same damn outfit.
yeah, I mean,
It's iconic though.
mean, you
like
know-
if you do what you do well,
Right.
it's
Right.
you
Right.
know, and it's
shout out
recognizable.
to Black. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Straight
and
up.
Karl
Definitely.
Lagerfeld is like not the father of Chanel, but like worked for Chanel
Right,
forever,
right.
and he's always in black and white,
Yeah.
So I'm about to go all black everything to myself and like just start popping with jewels because
Yeah.
I'm gonna get bigger as I get more pregnant. I don't have time to be coordinating colorful shit and whatnot. I just need to look fly and sleek.
And you do. You have
pop in and
accessories
go
for days.
for days. So
Yeah, I
you
thought I
know.
For
was, like,
years.
crazy, but I'm pretty tame.
Oh my no.
Well, I came back
Tiger
to life
Swan.
today, so I was like, I'm doing it all. I'm
Live
putting
your
on
best
all
life.
the colors.
I love the
Yes.
jade
Yes.
rings.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know.
Tiger Swan. I don't know. I have a weird view with clothes and stuff because I have multiple personalities.
Definitely,
and, you know,
You be changing it up. You come in here looking like a different person almost every single time.
I
Yeah.
am
You feel different
many
every time,
people.
you know?
I do. I don't know. It's weird. It's a lot of different pieces. I had this man once in this candle store. I'm looking at this candle and it's like I feel compelled because it was one of those stores
we
that
should
sold.
put Frida on the table.
Yeah, put Frida on the table. Talking about love yourself and stuff.
You got a wingspan there,
And
girl.
be
Go
fly,
ahead.
no matter fucking what, yo. But
Let's light her up.
I just you know, having the body that I have, you know, it's been
The
a
naughty
lot.
Nina Ross, voluptuous body.
It's a lot of attention, and there are things that someone else that doesn't have my body can wear, and it's no big deal. I put on the same thing, and
It's like, hey.
it doesn't matter, you know, how it is. You're just gonna see certain things if it's any type of form fitting to my body. So just kind of being mentally ready when I'm leaving the house for harassment, approachment, a certain level of attention.
Bunch of bullshit.
You know, but I don't know. Like when you said that about, you know, if you wear sweatpants and stuff like that, it's a sign of depression. But I mean, me trying to avoid being sexually harassed because I decided to look nice today. Is that a sign of depression? It's a depressing state of reality to note that, you know, before I go to work out, I want to make sure that as I run, no one can see my body. Like I can't even do that in public because there's like nothing safe, you know? So when I'm it's a conscious choice to, when I take the time to do certain things, you know, look, anything other than, you know, I don't know, but it's kind of, I don't know if it's devolved itself into the reason why I have these different sides, where one side is completely no nails. The lashes are the only residual that stayed. Lashes and brows lets you know that, maybe she had a t-shirt, or I don't know. You know, this is Mills trying. It took a long time to kind of even get to this because there really was a like, don't look at me until I want you to look at me. And then when I want you to look at me,
I just got really uncomfortable. I felt a tingle.
I enjoy.
But I definitely don't want. Okay, so I don't want you to misunderstand. But I didn't mean so. If you're wearing sweats, I'm not necessarily meaning that, you know, you're depressed. But
naughty Nina is really trying to come
Nina
out.
can wear sweats too. You know,
definitely,
it's inside.
It's all about what makes you feel sexy.
It's just.
But you know, in a sense, like I'm saying, like your emotions definitely translate in whatever clothes you're wearing. So typically, if you are depressed, you're not gonna want to put in the work to look your best, so to speak, whatever, you know, that may mean to you. But if you do even put in that little bit of effort, it can uplift your mood that much more. And, you know, it's this whole ideals of what sexy is that I want to just tap on, because I'm not saying like you have to have face beat and, you know, getting your best, you know, fuck 'em dress or your fuck 'em heels and just go out and slay. If that's what makes you feel sexy, by all means do that. But how many of us actually have the time and want to put in the effort to do that every day? Most
I
of us
can't even
don't.
walk in heels, so that's not happening.
And I'm definitely not, you know, up to that challenge every morning. But
This is
you know,
why it was so weird that I was hanging out with Kim Kardashian.
Way to bring it back.
she's
like the ultimate. She's
Yeah.
like the
Girly
Marilyn
girl.
Monroe of
Yeah.
today. I was just like, what?
Definitely.
All right.
Oh, I felt
But everybody has a Kim
sad for
Kardashian
Marilyn
in them.
Monroe when you said that.
Oh, I love Marilyn.
I
Shout
know.
out to-
Definitely.
this is a topic for another
I know.
conversation.
I don't know
the
what's going on
complexities
here.
of. Yeah.
Empathy
Anyway, the
for-
sex kitten in
Yes.
public media. But as you were saying, sorry, we cut
What
you
was
off.
that?
I don't know.
I don't even
You know what? What I kind of feel like, though, is that we've had a really round, rich conversation all over the place this evening. We talked about dreams and consciousness. We talked
Indeed.
about resolving past weight and letting go.
Yes.
We talked about transformation and cannabis use for meditation and yoga. We talked about beauty and clothes up in here. We talked about weed culture and like technical shit about growing things. Shout out to all the people that understood the conversation. There's some people like me that just have a green thumb. I'm like, dirt, water, and light. Pay attention to it every day.
You did a great job.
That's what you do. And so, yeah, we talked about like so much today. So I feel like, and we shouted out a bunch of like local cannabis entrepreneurs and national businesses. So I feel like right now is a good time to wrap it.
Early 90s
Come
raves.
to center, you know?
Yes, I think a metaphysical moment.
Is in order.
What was the moment that we had earlier when it was like we're gonna put a pin in it, come back, and get metaphysical?
I don't remember that moment.
I'm gonna blame Jameson. You got pregnancy
that to my
brain, so
people.
you don't have to remember anything.
Can I have a little bit of Jack?
Oh, now you want the Jack.
I know. Well, I wanted some earlier, but I didn't want. We were really. This was a good show, man. We were into it.
I know. It's a great conversation.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I did want to ask y'all each
Thank you.
one more question, actually, though, and maybe we can tell it quickly.
I mean, you know, we're not
we'll
paying
see.
by the minute in this joint or
We're
anything. You know?
not. But it is 10:30, so I'm trying to be respectful of our people. But you know what? I want to ask Indigo to close it out, and then have Jay close us with the metaphysical moment. And this all give you a moment to get your shit together. But Indigo, tell us about the first time you ever smoked weed.
It was probably the best day of my life. I'm 24. And literally, like, so it was with this kid. His name was, well, you don't need to know his name, but like his parents were like super rich, and like he was like this adopted kid. So he was like just super cool and like a little weird, but it was me and this other girl who's my best friend at the time. And so we're chilling in his house, and like his parents were completely cool with us like smoking in the house and stuff. And you know, he smoked all the time, and my best friend smoked pretty often, and I was the only newbie. So they're like, let's try it. Like, it's fun, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I never was really against it. So I'm like, sure, why not? I think I was like 15. And we made like one of those water bottle bong things. Have you
The
ever,
DIY
Yes.
You make the
lifestyle.
hole in it,
Yes.
put the aluminum foil, yeah. And the whole bottle fills up, and I hit too hard for the first puff, and I'm dying for like the next 15 minutes. And they're both laughing at me while they're like taking their hits and whatever. And like I just remember everything being okay, like at that moment. Like as a teenager, nothing's like ever okay, you know, like everything's always
Fucked
all
up.
over the place. Yeah, life is always ruined. But
Life is always ruined.
like I just remember
Such
feeling
a good-
so good. And his parents like ordered us Chinese food, and we watched Cat Williams. I think it was like Pimpin'. It's Pimpin'. One of his earlier stand-ups. Yes. But
I
and
think he's
Step Up.
funny.
We watched Step Up too.
Classic.
So yeah, that
Speaking
was
of
the
which,
first time.
he just dropped a new comedy
watched
special.
it.
I watched that shit last night. It was
it's
hilarious.
Pretty funny. Yes.
It's called Great America. Check it out on Netflix, y'all. Shout out to Cat Williams.
Definitely. Although he doesn't have the perm anymore, and I was.
What is
I
it?
know. I thought.
Was he have short hair?
It's like a jerk. Like
It's got like a
slick
mini
back or
pompadour.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Mini.
Very miniature.
I like mini. Yeah, you just gotta see. It's kind
It
of
was
like
funny,
mini
though.
finger waves, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sweating a lot. You just gotta.
He was. Yeah, I mean, wasn't he? Never mind.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so with that,
We love you, Cat
that's a good
Williams.
story. That's a good story, full of laughs in a safe environment with
It was.
friends, with adult supervision, even,
Yes.
and
Luckily
food and
enough.
nourishment and laughter.
It's pretty solid.
Best high ever.
You know, and the teenage angst went away. You
Yeah.
know,
Haven't
I've-
been that high since.
I can't encourage any of our viewers who are 15 to smoke weed.
I can do it,
I
kids.
can
I'm just kidding. It's
as
terrible.
I approve that.
There's
I'm-
no
I'm
kids
not.
watching us right now.
I'm definitely not promoting that, especially as a future mom. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and want you to participate with us in this beautiful metaphysical moment to get your mind right and
Yes,
reflect
I-
so we can take the energy on into the future. Jay Mills.
Yes, yes, yes. As we reflect on the moment that everyone forgot, including myself, we choose a new topic.
I feel like that was like last week that it happened. Though.
No, it was
I
earlier.
swear to God, I
we
really
were
do.
like, I was like, no, put a pin in it. I'm gonna bring it back, but it's okay because an even greater wisdom nugget came up when the concept of the dreams, the self,
Yes.
the spirit, and I just wanted to remind, as in remind, as in like make your mind up over again, in the fact that you are more than a body on this earth. You are more than even the mind in your body. We don't even think about our mind truthfully and what our mind is and just how much our mind can do. What is your mind? Your mind that has the hairs that raise up on the back of his neck and makes you turn around when somebody is looking at you, or gives you that feeling in the pit of your gut, or that intuition, or that reason to look at your phone before somebody texts you. Think about somebody and they call you, you see them. All of these things, you don't think with your brain, you think with every part, every cell, every part of you, your aura, your chakra, your mind, your thoughts. They're so powerful, so powerful. But within your mind and this concept of yourself, there's still something even greater than this self that holds itself in the light of all that is your spirit. And that is what decided to separate itself from the absolute realm of all, where all that is all that is, and all that is all that is. I mean, we only know nighttime because we on the earth. The sun doesn't ever stop shining. The earth just turns its back. So the idea of night, day and night, all of these things that we experience in this relative realm are just that. It's an experience, but it's an amazing thing, experiences, because knowledge is nothing without wisdom. You only get wisdom once you've applied the knowledge, or not applied the knowledge, to understand why you needed that knowledge in the first place. Because I'm the type of person that got to touch something to know just how hot it is, because I can tickle my fingers in the fire. So I don't know, fire is always kind of like, I didn't understand it. Like, there's all these elements, but what is fire? Fire is almost the physical manifestation of the transience of the spirit and the amazing, powerful, and potential that you have when you focus and spend some time on one thing, on one thought, on one dream. So as we are spirits that decided to experience this earth through a mind that would allow us to have a perspective in this body, that would hope that we could experience what it is to be light on earth. In order to be light, you got to be light in the dark. So that meant that you had to decide how bright your light was going to be and how dark your night was going to be. Because, I mean, you want to be the sun, you going to have to deal with some serious darkness out this bitch, you know? Just how bright your light is exactly opposite of how dark the opposite forces you will encounter will be, because you only know yourself through experience. We can think that we're compassionate until it comes time for us to love somebody who has given you every reason to hate them. So, did you really come here to master compassion? Oh, you thought it was? You knew what it was when it came time to do it. You can't fool yourself. So, my metaphysical thought is just to dream and trust in the highest intention of yourself. Trust in your thoughts. Realize that for every religion that says that you are praying, you are talking to yourself. Let that marinate. That's my thought. Vibrate higher. Trust in your dreams. Write them down. Know that the things that are only visible to you are the realest things there are. Everything else is illusion. One love.
Thank you, J Mills.
Lambo meets Kanye and Kim Kardashian coming at you.
You know,
2018.
hello.
Yes, thank
Whole
you.
year been great. Whole year.
Whole year.
Whole year.
Whole year.
Whole year.
Thank you. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you again, Indigo Green, for joining us. Follow her on Instagram. Follow and learn from her. And we're so excited. We'll see y'all here next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Same time, same place. Peace out.